Today's topic is so important. And I think I kind of hit at that. It's because you cannot progress past the point of where your mind progressed. So I can give you all these little clues and all this stuff of things you can do and all that to shift, to make these changes in your life. But if your mind has not changed, you're going to find yourself continuously going in those same patterns. You won't have progressed from where you were last year, 2 years, 3 years ago. You won't absolutely make that progression because your mind has not shifted. Your mind has not changed. So the Bible tells us, for as a man thinks in his heart, that's what he's going to be. So pretty much what you think yourself to be, that's what you're going to be. So it is so important that your mind begins to shift. If you're just coming in the room, welcome. We're on, this is Casualty with Dr. T. Come on in the room. Let us know that you're here. You can hit that thumbs up button, hit the share button, let somebody else know you're here, or tag somebody in to the live stream. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. And I'm in. We're talking about a mindset shift. You may need a mindset shift if. So first reason why you may need a mindset shift. If you can't imagine the future differently. I know you may hear me. If you've ever heard me at any point of time, I'm always talking about the future and have you grown and have you matured? What is the evidence? Like, what is about you is different than it has been over the last 2 or 3 years? Can we look at your life and see that you've progressed? But if you cannot imagine the future differently, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Where do you see yourself in a year? Sweetheart, where do you see yourself next month? And if you find that you cannot see yourself in 3 years or 5 years or next month, or if you do see yourself, you see yourself in the same position that you're in right now, that's a sign that you may need a mindset shift. That means you can't think past where you are right now. You absolutely cannot think past where you are right now. Are you comfortable where you are? Do you lack ambition? Do you want to do something different, but you don't really know how to do those things different? We should be growing. We should be maturing. We should be reaching our goals. We should be setting goals. You'd be amazed at the amount of people who do not set goals for their life. And we absolutely should be setting those goals for our life. And if we're still thinking that the position that we are in right now is going to be the position that we're going to be in 5 years from now, then you may need a mindset shift. So the second reason that you may need a mindset shift is you're thinking in black and white terms. Like, what do you mean black and white terms? Do you mean race? No, I'm not talking about race. I'm not talking about thinking in black and white terms in terms of race. I'm talking about, do you think in all or nothing terms? What do you mean by that? That means that your life is either all good or all bad. Every time we talk to you, your life all about to fall apart. I mean, every time your life is that we talk to you, your life is about to fall apart. Or everything in your life is just peachy. Ain't no problems. There's no balance. There's no balance. That's what I mean by black or white thinking. Everything is all bad or everything is all good and you're not balanced. That's a sign that you may need a mindset shift. Our lives should be balanced. What we think should be balanced. We shouldn't think that everything's all bad, even if things are not going well. That doesn't mean that all things are not going to go well in the future, or that things won't get better. That just means that things are not okay right now. So it takes balance. And if you're not thinking in terms of balance, or your life is not balanced, then you may need a mindset shift. So key number 3. You may need a mindset shift if you attract people who are toxic or negative. We kind of hit at that last week. Like, the people that you hang out with determine really where you are, what you think about yourself, who you bring into your life really impacts your life in a big way. So if you're attracting people who are toxic or negative, then chances are you think that you're toxic or negative. You may struggle with low self-esteem, or you may struggle to be able to set those boundaries. You hear me talk about boundaries all the time because I feel like we as people should be setting boundaries for our lives. So if you're attracting people who are toxic or negative, I love what Maya Angelou says, because I just absolutely love this quote. The late, great Maya Angelou. She says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. People know themselves much better than you do. That's why it's important to stop expecting them to be something other than who they are. So when you see these people and they're exhibiting these negative, toxic traits, and they're always negative, they always have something bad to say. They don't ever come with good news. They're always putting you down, or they're always putting other people down. They're always gossiping or talking about what somebody had on, or they didn't look right, or someone else's shortcoming. I guarantee you, if you're hanging out with these people, then some of that you've absorbed for yourself, and you think some of this stuff for yourself. As healthy people are able to create those boundaries. Like, girl, shut up. Stop talking about them people. Or, you ain't coming over my house today. Or, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you on the phone. I'm sorry. But if you're attracting people who are toxic or negative, then that's a clue that you may need a mindset shift. So, fourth thing, you can't win for losing, or when it rains, it pours. How many of us have heard people say this a lot? When it rains, it pours. I can't win for losing. And nothing don't ever work out for me. We hear people say these things, but that is evidence that you have a poor outlook on life. Because can't win for losing, that's not true. Now, things don't always go the way we expect them to. They don't always go the way that sometimes the way that we plan for them to. But that don't mean that you always losing. When it rains, it pours. Now, I've had some issues that happen where it just seems like things compile on top of another, because that's what it means when it rains, it pours. It just seems like things just pile on top of another. But some things happen just because of life. And our apostle at church talks about sometimes we have to examine whether these things are called because we called them, or is it because we opened the door to the enemy. And we absolutely have to sit in what's going on in our reality and say, okay, so is the rain pouring because I didn't manage my money and so my bills are piling up? Or is the rain pouring because I decided to go hang out with so and so and spend all my money and go shopping, online shopping now, because we quarantined and all that stuff. But did I mismanage my money, and that's the reason why it's pouring? Or am I choosing to hang out with the same people, and that's the reason why I can't get nobody that's a good person? Like, what are we doing that's contributing to our rain pouring? Or what are we doing that's contributing to us always losing or not winning? My things are slipping out. So my mama calls it poor mouthing. And if you're from the South, at any point in time, you've heard someone say poor mouthing. And that's that they don't want us to have, or you don't see any opportunities, is really what that poor mouthing is. You can't win for losing. When it rains, it pours. It's poor mouthing. You can't see yourself past your current situation. So that's key number 4. Then key number 5, signs that you may need a mindset shift, is you struggle with celebrating others. Now, this is a big one, because I have a child, and I'm not going to say which one, who really struggles with celebrating other people. And so I'm working on him. I'm praying and I'm working on him, because that's just not good. Like, we need to be able to see other people doing well and be able to celebrate them. And what that's rooted in is fear that you can't get what they got, or that something's not going to work out for you if you celebrate them. Is absolutely rooted in fear that you believe that it cannot happen for you. But I know that if God did it for me, he can do it for you. Or if the door opened for me, then the door can open for you. Whatever opportunity is presented for one, then the opportunity can be presented to you. There is no respect. God has no respect of person. That's what the Bible says. So if it happens for you, then it can happen for me. So the reality is, some things that happen for some and not for others is only because the other person chose to put in the hard work, and we didn't put in the hard work. And if we didn't put in the hard work, we can't necessarily blame somebody else for something that we just didn't do. And so we have to be aware of what our realities are. Like, what is your reality? Are these things not working out for you because you hadn't put in the hard work? Hard work and dedication. That's how we get to our goals. And if all of these things, or if some of these things that I've said on tonight are things that you struggle with, it's okay. Like, we all have struggled at some point in time with one, two, three, some of us more than four. It's five of them. Some of us that struggle with all of them. And that's absolutely okay. But that lets you know that you just got some work to do. You got some work to do. It's okay. It's absolutely okay if you're struggling with any one of those. You don't have to stay there. So I want to challenge you on tonight. I know I just kind of came in swinging on the night. My apologies. I should have warned you. I came in swinging, but I just see us struggling with things that I do not want us to continue to carry on into 2021. Like, it's still the beginning of the year, so we're right at that time. The quarter is not over. The quarter's not over. We're right at that time when we start seeing some things about ourselves that we can start adjusting. Like, if you done gave up your New Year's resolutions already, that's a sign that you might need a mindset shift, because we should be always working towards our goals. And if you created this big, huge goal and you don't know how you're gonna get there, just take it bite by bite, one goal at a time, little by little, chip it off a little by little. If my goal is to get my credit score up, okay, what's the first thing I do? First, you need to know what your credit score is. You need to know what's on your credit report. Freecreditreport.com, go pull it so you can see what's on your credit report. And then start working on little things, just step by step, step by step. Because our goal is to grow. Goal is to mature. Our goal is to be better than we were yesterday, last year, 5 years ago. Our goal is to always become better, always growing, always maturing. And if you feel stuck, well, that's a clue that you need a mindset shift now, because I do realize that people do get stuck and they don't know how to move forward. And that's just life. It happens. It's absolutely okay if it happens and you don't know how to move forward and you don't know where to go. Well, we have people for that. God has equipped some people that can help you move through your life or get over those humps. That is the absolute reason why I started creating my business. Because I got tired of seeing women, particularly women, because I see people all the time that just get stuck and don't know where to go and don't know how to move forward and tolerate things that they should not tolerate, particularly relationships that they should not tolerate, and being together all this time and the person dumps you and go marry somebody else. But you done dedicated half your life with the person, not a person done committed to somebody else, and you're left with the baggage and the hurt and the pain. I absolutely got tired of seeing people go through situations that they did not or do not have to continue to struggle with. So that was the reason for my business. I wanted to work with women who feel stuck, who's struggling, who don't know what they're called to do, who don't know how to move forward. I wanted to work with those women, or I want to work with those women. And that's what my business is centered around. So I do have a Facebook group. It's called the Find Your Relation Zone. We're talking about shifting. We got to shift. It is in the air, like that change and growing and maturing. And people just not they're not what people are really pulling to grow this year. I don't really know what it is, but I just feel that people are really just pulling to grow this year and don't really know or have the tools or even know how to go get the tools in order to push them. And I want to be somebody that push you into growth, because I see us all better, so much better in the future. Yes, 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 yes. I love you all. You have a good night. Bye.